Have you ever walked through a packed market just buzzing with energy and wondered, how on earth do these sellers figure out what to charge? Well, today that's exactly what we're doing. We're heading straight into the heart of the Legos market to crack the code on pricing and promotion. It's all about finding that magic number that keeps customers coming and your business growing. You know, getting your product ready, that's one thing. But as they say in Nigeria, the real wahala, the real trouble, starts the moment you try to sell it. That's when the game truly begins. So let's picture this scene. You've got two sellers, Chinedu and Zainab, selling the exact same thing. Seller A is at 500 naira, and crickets. Customers just walk on by. But seller B, they're at 200 naira, and there's a huge crowd. Now, it looks like an easy choice, right? But here's the million naira question. Is seller B actually making any money? And that really brings us to the two big questions we're tackling in this explainer. First, how do you find that perfect price that keeps you profitable but also brings people in? And second, once you have that price, in a sea of other sellers, how do you make sure they choose you? Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. This isn't about guesswork. It's about mastering the money math behind every single thing you sell. Let's break it down. So, what is pricing, really? Well, it's way more than just a number. It's a huge strategic decision. Get it right, and you thrive. Get it wrong, and, well, you struggle. It's all about that perfect balance between what it's worth and what people will actually pay. The absolute first thing you have to know is your cost price. And I mean everything. Every single naira you spent to get that product ready to sell. Seeds, fertilizer, transport, you name it. This number is your floor. It's your break-even point. Once you have your cost price nailed down, then you can figure out your selling price. This is the number you actually put on the tag. And again, it's not a random guess. It's a careful calculation based on your costs, the profit you want to make, and of course, the market itself. And that brings us to the market price. You're not selling in a vacuum, right? You have to know what your competition is up to. What they're charging directly shapes what your customers think your product should cost. So as you can see, it's a real balancing act. You've got your costs, the quality of your goods, how much demand there is, and what everyone else is doing. It's all about finding that sweet spot where you're making good money without scaring anyone away. Let's make this super practical with a quick example. Let's say you're an orange farmer. You've harvested 50 beautiful oranges, and your total cost to grow them and get them to the market was 2,500 naira. So let's do the math. First question for you. What's your cost price for a single orange? This is the absolute minimum you need to sell it for just to not lose money. Any ideas? It's simple math, right? You take that total cost, 2,500 naira, and divide it by your 50 oranges. And there you have it, 50 naira per orange. That's your break-even point. Anything less than that, and you're literally paying people to take your oranges. Okay, so you know your cost is 50. Now you look around, you do your homework, and you see that everyone else is selling oranges for about 100 naira. So if you match that price, how much profit are you making on each orange? That's right. You sell it for 100, it costs you 50, which means you've got a clean 50 naira profit for every single orange you sell. Now that is a pretty good deal. So you've totally nailed the pricing. Awesome. But now, how do you get people to actually stop at your stall? That's where we get into the art of the shout-out, using advertising to pull customers in. Think of advertising as your megaphone. It's all about making your product so visible and so desirable that people just have to come over and see what's going on. It's about telling a story that makes them want what you've got. And the best part is, you don't need a massive budget for this. Seriously. Sometimes the simplest things work best. A really clever sign, a great-looking photo on social media, or just stacking your tomatoes in a perfect, beautiful pyramid, that can be enough to stop someone in their tracks. All right, so you've got your price, you've got your advertising. Now comes the most important piece of the puzzle, the customer. Here, we're going to talk about emotional intelligence and how it can help you build real relationships that keep people coming back. Emotional intelligence, or EI, is basically your sales superpower. It's that ability to really connect with your customers, to understand what they need, sometimes before they do. It's how you build trust and turn a one-time sale into a loyal customer for life. So, when a customer starts to haggle, don't get defensive. See it as a chance to connect.
The key is to stay calm. Try to be empathetic. Maybe they're on a tight budget. Just saying, I understand, can completely change the tone. And communicate well. Instead of just no, maybe you say, I can't go that low, but you know what? I'll throw in an extra one for you. A little bit of understanding goes a very, very long way.
Okay, let's pull all these pieces together. In this last section, we're going to build a simple blueprint for success that you can use no matter what it is you're trying to sell. Think of a successful business like a three-legged stool. You need all three legs to be strong. You need smart pricing to stay profitable, you need smart advertising so people can find you, and you need emotional intelligence to build that customer loyalty. Always know your numbers, get creative with your marketing, and remember you're selling to a person, not a wallet. Get those three right and you're on your way. So I'll leave you with this final thought. In a market where everyone's got a good product and everyone's got a fair price, what makes them choose you? What's your secret sauce? Because often it's not just about what you sell, it's about how you make people feel. Figure that out and you won't just build a business, you'll build something special.